right, Halloween is upon us. I'm very excited for the children today in America getting cavities their parents will pay for decades to come. Here we do it. We call it Tomorrow's Headlines Today, predicting outcomes. Colts at the Steelers. What say you, J-Mac?
All right, so we have a Hollywood theme, so they're all going to be funny Hollywood headlines. I will say this, Colin. There are 7 road favorites on Sunday, and I'm starting with the Colts. They're one of them. Colts Steelers, can Pittsburgh bounce back? The headline will be Culturegeist. Steelers stay haunted at home. I know everybody's taking Pittsburgh here. I like the Colts. I'm sorry. Colin, listen, if you want to play that whole Mike Tomlin voodoo, and this is a great spot, and he gets his team up for it, go ahead. That's all you. The reality is this Pittsburgh defense is the worst Tomlin's had in a decade, okay? And the Indianapolis Colts, you could start comparing them, somewhat favorably to that greatest show on turf with Kurt Warner. That's how late it's been for the market to catch up to these guys. Colin, they have 6 games where they've scored 31 or more points. And it's not only indoors. They're able to move it on the outdoors as well. I think Jonathan Taylor's a lock to win Offensive Player of the Year. I mean, you got pass catchers all over the place. Tyler Warren's a matchup nightmare for the Steelers. I do think Pittsburgh scores on the Colts defense, which isn't great, and they haven't faced a lot of guys. But I like the Colts here. I mean, all signs to me, 6-2 against the spread, Indy, tied for best in the NFL. Don't you think that maybe it's possible this is just a really good team?
It is. Yeah, it is. Offensively, it's an exceptional team.
Yeah.
Tomorrow's headlines today, Niners at the New York Giants without Scattaboo.
It's rare, but sometimes Colin Cowherd has an impact on me, and this game, it was felt big time. Their headline for Niners-Giants will be Kittle's Shop of Horrors. Giants plants clipped by Niners. I'm going with you on this. Gosh, I hope it's Brock Purdy. My goodness. I don't know Mac Jones. Feels like he's kind of sort of falling apart. And I do have questions about this Niners defense. Colin, we've seen it without Bosa, without Bryce Huff last week. They can't get to the quarterback.
Yeah.
And if you're not hitting Dart, listen, he's making plays. The kid, I know you don't love him as Rookie of the Year, but the numbers right now and the odds say he's the favorite. I'm not saying he's going to be the franchise quarterback for what he's done this year without Malik Neighbors and now no Scattaboo. Listen, they play well at home, right? They showed well against the Chargers. Got kind of lucky there to beat them 21-18. And I'm going to rock with the Niners here only because I trust Kyle Shanahan. And I think you said it best earlier this week. He was angry when he stepped to the podium. Yeah. He had the hat pulled down, and he's like kind of gruff. I like Shanahan and the Niners to bounce back.
So this is a stay away for me. I'm interested in your take. Tomorrow's headlines today, the Denver Broncos at the Houston Texans, who are mercurial. You don't know what you get, but man, when they play well at home, watch out for the Texans.
That mercurial, what are you dropping SAT vocabulary words here in hour number 3 in the Power Hour? Good stuff. The headline for Texans Broncos will be Texas Move the Chainsaw Massacre. Bo bleeds while CJ leads. It's a battle of young quarterbacks. I give a slight edge to CJ Stroud here. Colin, listen, I know Bo carved up the Cowboys. Listen, man, they're terrible. Everybody carves them up. But CJ Stroud had a good game last week against the Niners. This is going to be, I believe, a low-scoring game. 2 outstanding defenses that get after the quarterback. But the big key for me is no Patrick Surtain here. Also, smaller level, Marvin Mims, who excels special teams, wide receiver. He's in a concussion protocol. Doesn't look like he's going to go. He's an explosive player. But the Surtain injury, I think, is big. If you believe that teams can kind of find their footing in the bye week, famously Tom Brady and Bruce Arians a couple years ago in Tampa.
Yeah.
I wonder if Stroud figured out some things because he looked the best he's looked all year.
Yeah.
Last week against the Niners, and Nico Collins is back. So that's a big get back. I like the Texans here. I know you love the Broncos, but who are you taking next 5 years? CJ Stroud or Bo Nix?
I think CJ Stroud is really an elite arm talent. Yeah. I think Bo's are more active, better athlete. But CJ's, it looks different. It looks very Drake May when let's go back. Tomorrow's headlines today. This one's a sneaky good game. Panthers at Green Bay. This is going to be sneaky close, in my opinion.
Yeah, you got in my head earlier with this. I'm feeling dumb. The headline for Panthers at the Packers will be Silence of the Lambeau. Panthers strap in for slaughtering. Everybody knows that's your favorite movie.
Yes.
So obviously we had to play on Silence of the Lambs. I think the bad teams this season, Colin, are very bad.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
The Panthers are in that group. They're just not very good. I know it was Dalton last week and they got their doors blown off. So on the road, at home, they've been feisty. Do you remember when they went to New England? Everybody's like, ooh, there's a spot for the Panthers. 42-13. Like, this defense can't stop anybody. And I do believe something clicked with LaFleur. He was run heavy against Pittsburgh in the first half. And second half, he's like, screw it. Let's just unlock Jordan Love. He had 20 straight completions. And if they just play to their strengths, Jordan Love against his secondary, I think they can roll over them. And then you hammer Josh Jacobs. The big question is, can they stop the run? And I think the answer with Micah Parsons is yes. I like the Packers here. I know it's a big number, 13-ish, but give me the Packers like 37-17.
This one seems almost too obvious. Tomorrow's headlines today, Tyler Shuck at the Rams. This is the one that I didn't pick. I think the Rams could take a 34-0 lead, and those games scare me to death, so I stayed away.
Yeah, the double-digit favorites this season, I think straight up are 8-0 or 9-0. They're running away with it. And by the way, favorites are on a 12-2 heater. I know this is a big number. You're terrified of it. I'm not. The headline for Rams Saints will be Sour Patch Kids Saints Puka after too many Butterfingers. Listen, I'm sorry. I don't think Tyler Shuck is an NFL starting quarterback. I know, to me, the Saints are basically doing a soft tank at this point, and I would not be surprised if you hear Alvin Kamara's name bandied about next week ahead of the deadline. There's a receiver they have, a couple receivers they have who could be on the market. They'll keep Olave. But I just think this is a Rams team, Colin. McVay off a bye. I know they have the Niners on deck next week, and that's a big revenge spot for them after that humiliating loss at SoFi. But this is a really good Rams team. Puka obviously getting back is massive. And the thing I loved about the Rams in London is they totally changed everything. They went 3 tight ends, heavy. The Jaguars were ill-prepared. I mean, McVay could pull something off like that against the Saints. And by the way, the Saints losing their center, Eric McCoy, massive. They could do nothing offensively last week. Rams picked their score. I think they roll here.
Finally, the game of the weekend. Tomorrow's headlines today, Chiefs favored at the Bills.
Yeah, I gave you the stat earlier. Josh Allen has not lost as a home underdog in 5 years in Orchard Park. The headline for Bills Chiefs. Oh boy, here we go. The Bills are, the Chiefs aren't. Colin, give me Buffalo. I'm on an island. And this is funny. If you look around at who's picking this game, I can't find anybody taking the Buffalo Bills. I don't see it anywhere. You love the Chiefs. Everybody at this network's on Kansas City. Why is everybody off of Buffalo? Just because Kansas City, destroyed the Raiders and Washington with their backup quarterback. I mean, was that Detroit win that impressive? Detroit away from home has not been otherworldly.
Fair.
So I think the Bills, I know the injuries hurt. And this Ed Oliver situation stinks. Daquan Jones, I'm seeing up the middle. Oliver and Daquan are good. They're both going to be out. So they are susceptible to this. The linebackers aren't great. The safeties are mid. The mesh patterns, the cross concepts of Xavier, Rice, they could run wild. Now, McDermott's a defensive guy. I don't want to go overboard. If he gets if they get boxed here, they lose by 2 touchdowns, and all of a sudden the Bills are like falling down the pecking order, I think we start to hear about, is this McDermott's final run? Because, Colin, they came in as Super Bowl expectations. You get the Chiefs at home, you got to win this game, man.
Yeah.
And how's this for a fun stat for you? Kansas City Chiefs, 9 fumbles this year. They've recovered all 9. Nice luck on their side. It just so happens to always work that way. On 4th down, I believe they're 14 of 17 this season. Is that Mahomes and Reed, or is that a little lucky on 4th down? Remember Washington last year was the best 4th down team in the league. How are they doing this year on 4th down?
Well, it's a little random. I think the fumbles are totally random.
Very.
Good stuff. Tomorrow, headlines today with J-Mac. I think my lead take today is Miami has fired their GM, and they're going to keep Mike McDaniel for the season. My big take is instead of hiring somebody that's never been a head coach, Lane Kiffin's been a head coach at Tennessee, with the Raiders, with USC, and now at Ole Miss, and a smaller school in Florida, hire a head coach. And it's a big year for quarterbacks, many of them second rounders, some are first. Lane Kiffin's seen half of them. I would hire him as the head coach. I think college coaching is much more similar to NFL today because I think the transfer portal and the NIL is like NFL free agency. In fact, that's what Lane said 3 years ago about this. It's NFL free agency. You have salary caps now. It's much different. Jim Harbaugh. Also remember, when Harbaugh comes into the Chargers, have you seen their first 2 drafts? These college coaches have an advantage over NFL GMs and NFL coaches. Lane has all these SEC guys. Lane's recruited them. He knows the odometer. He knows the stuff that GMs and coaches in the NFL today do not know. So I think Lane, for 2 to 3 years, if you gave him some personnel power, then you have to hire a GM, but he would have to be amenable to working with Lane Kiffin. Lane's going to know that personnel. So I know. Oh, go ahead.
Real quick. So Lane Kiffin gets to pick his quarterback, everything at Ole Miss. Anything he wants, he gets, right? He's the man in the state.
Yeah.
You go to Miami, you got an owner. We'll see who the GM is.
All Lane cares about is getting the quarterback.
But they're not even going to be drafting top 4 or 5, I don't think.
Well, just be careful. I think, you could trade, next year's first-round pick in Jalen Waddle to move up 3 spots and get your quarterback. I mean, there's no dominant Andrew Luck. It's not. I don't think it's as good a class as the Drake May, Jaden Daniels class. Right. But I think there's a lot of second-round quarterbacks. The kid at South Carolina is a late first to me, and I think Dante Moore and Mendoza feel like, solid first-round picks. But right now, the Dolphins have the 4th pick. And by the way, the number 1 quarterback pick usually isn't the best quarterback. It's often the 2nd or the 3rd quarterback taken.
Yeah.
So you could stay with Tua, but the dead cap money is overrated. Denver's got in dead cap, hell with Russell Wilson, and they're not only good, but their roster's loaded. All right, everybody, Dodgers, Fox tonight. Dodgers are at the Blue Jays. Yoshi's going. He is wire to wire, has been their ace all season. We will see you Monday, first things first, coming up next.